Good morning, all of you. In our previous session, we have discussed about various network devices like hubs, switches, routers, and their differences. Now, in this session, we'll discuss about internet, its introduction, URL, www, and its application, like web, email, chat, and VoIP. So, we'll start all these things one by one. The very first thing here is the introduction to internet. Fine. So when we talk about internet, we used to call it as a public WAN. WAN means wide area network. It is also considered as one of the largest network where any number of people can connect together to get the information, to access the information. Okay. So when we talk about internet, it is generally used for transferring of the informations for communication purpose. Now these days for e-commerce, so there are wide variety of uses of internet. Even now these days, all of you are using internet, and on the basis of that, we are also sharing the informations. For example, we are uploading our informations, uploading the videos, and you are downloading those informations or you are accessing those informations. Okay, now for having internet, what you should have is a device, and along with that device you must have internet connection through which you can access the internet. Okay, now over here it is given, internet is a global communication system that links together thousands of individual networks. So we will say that there are more than thousands of networks are there. So many LANs, so many WANs, so many MANs are there, and which are connected together to make a very big network, which is called as your internet. Okay, now some points are given for the internet. First thing is, it is a worldwide global system for interconnected computer network. I hope this is clear. Now the most important thing that you have to understand, that the protocols used by the internet for transferring the information is your TCP/IP, transmission control protocol, and internet protocol. These two are used. Now, and see, your internet works on the basis of IP addresses. Okay, suppose you wanted to send any information from one computer to another computer, so you need the IP address of both the systems, okay, of the sender as well as of the receivers. And when we talk about IP addresses, these are the 4 byte of information, and this is unique over a complete internet. No two systems or devices can have same IP addresses. So basically these are different. Okay, then next thing is, a special computer DNS is used to give name to the IP addresses so that the user can locate a computer by the name. See, now when you wanted to access any system, you never used to use their IP addresses. You are having their names. For example, when you wanted to connect to any system, generally you are connecting with their names. So DNS, domain name server, this is a server where actually all the names of the systems and all the IP addresses are stored. So whenever we type any name, it will be checked at that system that what is its IP address, and then correspondingly the information will be sent to that particular system. And last, internet is accessible to every user all over the world. If you are having device, if you are having internet, then it is open platform for each and every user. Advantages of internet. Basically these advantages consist of the uses of internet. Okay, I have used so many application areas where basically we are using internet, plus the multiple ways how you can use the systems or internet. Very first thing given over here is, it allows us to communicate with the people sitting at remote location. Now see, even what we all are doing, we are communicating with each other with the help of internet only. We are transferring, or we are giving you all the informations or all the lessons with the help of internet. Fine. Now when we talk about websites or internet, it is providing us so many social networking sites with which we can we can easily connect with those people who are not at the uh, nearby locations or which are available at the remote location. Then second point is one can search for any kind of information over the internet, information regarding various topics such as technology, health and science, social studies, geographical information, information technologies, products, etc. Because see, when we talk about internet, it is considered as one of the largest library in the world. Okay, this is considered as one of the largest virtual library where you can get, for a single inquiry you can get millions of answers. Okay, so when we talk about internet, we can get whatever you can think of, you'll get information of that particular keyword or the topic, and it will be based on across the world, across the globe. So this is what the advantage of internet means. It is not limited to a specific region or a country. Okay, it is across the world. Then third point is, apart from communication and source of information, internet also serves as mediums for entertainment like online television, online games, songs, videos, social networking apps. Okay, so when we talk about internet, this is very common thing that generally as a students you are also using these internet basically for the entertainment purpose. Okay, so you can see online live TVs, live channels, online games you can play, multiple friends of you can play, and you all are playing also, I know very well, but these all things are available, fine. Then next is online songs are there, you can download those songs or you can listen to those songs online. Movies you can download, any sort of apps you can download, games you can download, even you can play online, you can play offline, it is your choice. Then next point is, internet allows us to use many services like, now see, these all are the services, or basically we can say most important uses of internet. First is internet banking for e-commerce purpose, then matrimonial services, then after that online shopping, online ticket booking. When we talk about ticket booking, any type of ticket booking, railways, airways, bus reservations, movies reservations, event reservations, so like these, so many online ticket bookings are available, online bill payments, data sharing and email. So these all are the services or the uses of internet. Then last is, internet provides concepts of electronic commerce which allows the business deals to be conducted on electronic system. As I said, e-commerce. Okay, online, whenever we do transaction of money online, it is called as, or it comes under e-commerce. So e-commerce facility is also given to you via internet. Next is disadvantages of internet. See, because when we are using public wide area network, then there are so many chances of hacking of our informations. So many viruses are there. As I previously said, it is the largest collection of library. At the same time, it is the largest collection of viruses also. So many untrusted websites are there where we may get the viruses. Okay, where are chances are there to get our data hacked by the hackers. Okay, so some of the points are, the very first point is, there are always chances to lose personal information such as name, address, credit card numbers. So see, if you are not sure about the website, you may give your information, your personal information. So there are chances that it will be leaked. Then next is, another disadvantage is the spamming corresponds to the unwanted emails in bulk. See, generally what you are doing, again and again you are writing your personal informations. Okay, so when you are writing your personal informations to so many untrusted websites, it is gathered as their database and then they are using it for sending you the bulk mails. This is what called as spamming, and basically after some time it is going to irritate you, or it is going to occupy, or it is going to fill your inbox area. Then next is the viruses. As I said, that internet is considered as one of the biggest source of getting viruses. Then next is the also the biggest threat on internet is pornography. There are many pornographic sites that can be found, letting your children to use internet, which indirectly affects the children's healthy mental life. As per Indian law, pornographies are not allowed, and but still there are so many sites which are promoting these type of things which are actually not allowed. So you must take care of these sites that you are watching. And last, there are various websites that do not provide the authenticated information. This leads to misconception among many people. See, we cannot trust all these sites. It is not compulsory that in every site whatever is written is 100% perfect. So we have to be careful that if the site is authenticated, then only we must go through the informations given over there, or we must give our informations. This is your uniform resource locator. Whenever we talk, or the short form of this is URL. Whenever we talk about URL, it is nothing but your complete website address. What we are writing in the address bar to open any web page is called as. It is given also, and remember, most important thing is that it is unique across the globe. If it means every website name or its link will be unique. So it is given a URL is a unique identifier used to locate a resource on the internet. It is also referred to as a web address. So another name is the web address. Basically, address of any page on the internet. And most important thing is it is unique. Millions of web pages are there, websites are there, but whatever page you wanted to open will be having its unique address. It is compulsory. Will be called as the URL. Then it is given URL consists of multiple parts including a protocol and domain name that tell a web browser how and where to retrieve the resource. See, basically these are nothing but the parts of URL. We'll see this slide. Now you see this one. One example is given to you, that is https://abc.com/search/query ? Q is equal to URL. So see, basically this is given to you as one URL, and this is unique as I said. Now here so many things are given to you. So the very first thing is HTTPS. So it is called as the protocol or the scheme. See, it is compulsory that before every website name we have to write the protocol. Okay, so it is given used to access a resource on the internet. Protocol include HTTP, HTTPS, FTPs, mail to and file. See, these all are the other protocols that we can use. Okay, so anyone you can use. Then next is your host name or domain name. For example, here I have written abc.com will be called as the website name or the domain name. Then next is your search/query. It is called as the path. Okay, so basically what you have to understand, you can think like this, that abc.com is the name of your website, or it is the way to get connected to the server where this website is stored. Now inside that one folder is there of search, inside that there is one folder of query. Okay, then after that next is, it is given query. Over here you can see the question mark is written in the URL. This indicates that the query we are going to write. Okay, so basically when we wanted to open any page, we may have to give some information to that page to get started. Okay, so over here they have written question mark Q is equal to URL. So what you have to understand, that this question mark indicates that it is the query, and what parameters we are passing or what information we are passing to this is your Q is equal to URL. So basically any information you can type over here. So this is how you are collecting the information. Then you will be passing to the current page, and then on the basis of that your current page will be opened. Okay, for example, let me give you one example. Suppose you wanted to log in. So either you will be getting login successful or login unsuccessful as answer. If the login, if your you are authenticated user, then your login is successful. If it is successful, corresponding other page will get open, and if it is unsuccessful, another page will get open. So how the web browser or how the website will come to know that whether you have logged in successfully or unsuccessfully? So these type of information will be given to this query q is equal to URL, means q is equal to whether successful or q is equal to whether unsuccessful. On successful, another web page will get open, and on unsuccessful, another web page will get open. I hope this much is clear to you. And what you have to understand, basically these all are called as the parts of URL. Okay, the main thing is you must be in the position to identify the parts of the URL. This World Wide Web. Now see, when we talk about www or the World Wide Web, it is nothing but all the resources and the users on the internet who are using the protocol, that is hypertext transfer protocol. Even it is given also a technical definition of World Wide Web is all the resources and users on the internet that are using the HTTP protocol. Okay, so basically this is what you have to understand, your term www. Then after this, next is application of www. Now see, so many applications are given, or we can say four popular applications are given. First is web, in which we will be having three stages of web, that is web 1.0, web 2.0, web 3.0, then email services, then chat services, and VoIP services. These all are the services or the application of www. We will be understanding all these one by one. So very first is your web 1.0. This was the first stage of your internet. And see, basically what you have to understand, that in this particular stage or initial stage of internet, we were using only these static pages. Okay, static pages means where only you can read the content. You were not able to write anything. It was not at all interactive in nature, basically. Okay, you were only able to see the information. For example, I have opened any store and I only wanted to write the information about that particular store, but you cannot do purchasing. Only you can see the details of the store, you can see the contact information of the store. Side by side you can contact by using the email addresses and all, but you were not able to contact to that person directly. Okay, so it is given, the very first point is static pages. Second is content is served from the server's file system. So only the content was given to you from the server side. From user side or client side there was no interaction. Pages built using server side includes or common gateway interfaces. So all the pages were built from the server side only. And last is frames and tables used to position and align elements on the page. See, these all are the topics of HTML. In HTML we are getting the facility to create frames and the tables. If you are understanding, fine. If you are not understanding, only you have to understand that these are nothing but the tags with which we were creating the web pages. So ultimately what you have to understand overall, that it was the first stage of internet where we were only getting we were only having the static web pages where user was not able to communicate or interact with the system or the web page. Then web 2.0. Now in web 2.0 we can say it was the advanced version or the second stage of the internet where this interaction was given to you. This was the best point, that interaction was given to you. And the meaning of interaction means you were able to interact with the server. For example, if you know how to do blogging, then you must know that what bloggers are doing. One website is given to them, they have to simply sign up. Once they are signed up over there, they can write their contents, and their contents will be also displayed on the website. It means they can read the previous content, plus they are able to write the new content also. This is what called as interactive session. Okay, otherwise if you are using Facebook, okay, if you are using YouTube, so you all must be knowing that what you are doing over there, you are able to read the existing content, plus you are able to upload the new content also. It may be a photo, it may be a text, it may be a video. So in Web 2.0, lots of flexibility is given to the user, that user can actively can participate with the websites. Okay, so the very first point is free sortings of information permits user to retrieve and classify the information collectively. Second is dynamic content that are responsive to user input, means on the basis of users input dynamic pages will be created or the information will be shown to the user. Then information flows between the site owner and site users by means of evaluation and online commenting. So basically now site owner and site users both were able to actually coordinate with each other. And last one is web access leads to concern different from the traditional internet user base to a wider variety of users. So basically it is considered as the advanced stage of 1.0, and where the users can do maximum participation also. Having is Web 3.0. Now current generation or current stage of internet comes under your Web 3.0. Okay, when we talk about Web 3.0, it is giving us the three main features: semantic web, artificial intelligence, and 3D graphics. I'm combining all these three together. See, if you have seen that now these days 3D images, 3D videos you are able to see on internet. How? It is because of Web 3.0. Okay, similarly artificial intelligence, your voice recognition feature, okay, it comes under your artificial intelligence. Similarly semantic web, maybe you have searched sometimes on internet and you must have observed that previous search and these days search are very much different. Whenever we are typing anything in Google or in any search engine, after typing it is showing you the direct answers. You can type a complete statement instead of typing the keywords. You can directly write the question and you will straight away you will get the answer. Okay, the reason is because now your search engines are actually understanding your words. Okay, in voice recognition also, whatever we are speaking is actually understood by the apps, and then on the basis of your command it will interpret it and it will give you the outputs. Okay, so basically we are saying here Web 3.00 is considered as read plus write plus execute. Okay, all these features are combined over here in Web 3.0. And remember, most important thing, now these days we are using Web 3.0. Now next application of www is email, also known as electronic mail. Now whenever we wanted to send or receive any message, file, image or attachment over internet, generally we are using the service that is email. For email, for sending or receiving email, we must have the email account, plus the receiver or the sender also, both the sender and receiver must have the email account. You can see the email address breakdowns. Now these days I hope that all of you are having that email address with you. Fine, now you can see the breakdown. It is cbse_exam@gmail.com. This is one example given to you. So the very first part, which is before @ cbse_exam, is called as the username basically, or the name of the group or the name of the organization, anything you can say. We generally used to say it is the username. Then @ is also called as a divider or the separator. Basically it is separating the username and the domain name. Okay, so therefore we must have this symbol at the rate of for separating the username and domain name. And the last one is the gmail.com. This is the name of the domain, or basically the website where you have created your account for sending or receiving the email addresses. Now the interesting thing is, if two different domains are there, for example gmail.com, yahoo.com, you can have same username, but if the same domain is there, for example gmail.com, then you cannot have the same username. Okay, if it is already reserved, then you have to create your account with any other different unique name. Okay, then service is the chat service. When we talk about chat, meaning of chat is two persons which are online at the same time and they wanted to send or receive the messages. Generally chat messages are short. Okay, so this is what called as chatting. See, whenever we are chatting, sometimes we are sending the information, sometimes we are sending the files, sometimes we are sending the attachments. So we must be careful. Some security suggestions are given. The very first is never give your full name, address, phone, email or personal information over chat. You have to take care that when you are chatting with someone, you have to send or receive the limited information. Okay, and see, we know internet is completely a virtual world and it is open for it is publicly open for everybody. So we must be careful what type of information we are sharing with the other persons. Then next is never accept the files from the others in chat. You have to take care. See, until or unless you are not trusting the person, you should never accept the files over the internet. Then next is, if you are chatting to find help with your computer and someone wants to remotely connect to your computers to help you fix a problem, be extremely cautious. Okay, so basically when we talk about remote login, okay, see, basically this is what they have given as the remote login. If you are facing any problem, you are chatting with someone and that XYZ person is giving you the facility of remote login through which that person can operate your system, you should never allow that. Okay, until or unless that person is not trustworthy, not your known person, you should never allow, because that person can actually copy the information from your system. Okay, can actually modify the informations of your system, can access any information of your system. So you must be careful when you are chatting or you are giving permission to any person for remote login. There, when we are chatting, see, we must be careful to the language. Okay, when we are talking with each other, there are so many rules, so many manners which we must follow. Similarly, when we talk about internet, there are so many etiquettes that we must follow to communicate with each other. So basically these are nothing but some points that we must keep in mind, that when we are talking with the others, we must use proper language, we must talk softly. Okay, uh, we must take care of the words, the language that we are using. It should not hurt the other person, so that the other person will be also getting interest to talking with you. Okay, okay, and even the last point is very nice. When first joining a chat with multiple people, was the conversation for a few minutes before chiming into someone else's conversation. Basically, it is very common habit of ours. No, we, as soon as we go to any chat room, we directly start talking. It should not be like this. First, you should observe or analyze that what is going on in that chat room, or with whomsoever multiple persons you are chatting. No, so you must be clear with their chats first, their topic first. Then only you should start dealing with your topics and your thoughts. Okay. Last application as VoIP. VoIP is also known as Voice over Internet Protocol. Now these days, maybe you know that it is nothing but, we can say, voice services or the telephonic services we are using via internet these days is called as VoIP. Okay, it is written also in the very first line. VoIP is an acronym for Voice over Internet Protocol, or in more common terms, phone services over Internet. We know Internet is considered as one of the cheapest method. So similarly, if we are going to use voice services over Internet, it will be also considered as the cheapest method of communication. You can see two benefits are given. The very first benefit is lower cost, because we are going to use internet. Okay, we are getting the internet, no, so we are using internet for talking with other person, for all your these WhatsApp calls, your Skype calls. These all are examples of VoIP. Now these days through internet we can call to anybody's mobile phone also. So these all are the examples of VoIP. And next is increased functionality. Incoming phone calls are automatically routed to your VoIP phone wherever you plug in into the network. So basically, wherever you are, if you are connected with the network, you will be able to receive the call, as well as you will be able to make a call to anyone. I hope all these points are clear to all of you. Thank you so much.